Parks and Rec is a show that was originally meant to be like a spin-off of The Office, and then they just decided to make it be basically just a clone of The Office, and then eventually they just decided to rewrite the show into its own show. But yeah, Parks and Recreation is a show that spanned from 2009 to 2015, so 6 years. Half of my age, actually, almost half. I'm almost 13. I'm turning 13 in like a couple months. But yeah, this show is pretty good. It's for the most part a beloved cult classic, except for like one YouTuber I randomly found. But yeah, this show is a beloved cult classic for the most part. Most people like it. It's a good show. And today I'm going to rank all the characters in it from the most good all the way down to the most evil. Of course it's going to be 3 tiers. The good, the gray area, and at the bottom the bad to evil. So yeah, starting off, we got the good. Okay, so the gold medal of good, the most good character in this entire show, is Ben Wyatt. Okay, we first see him in the end of season 2 as a city auditor. Well, I think he is a city auditor. Basically, he came along with Chris to manage the problem with Pawnee of like no money, because Pawnee is some random town that like has no citizens, so like no money. So yeah, he comes to address that problem and help with Pawnee's budget along with Chris. So yeah, and for the first little bit, he's basically the opposite of Chris. Well, Chris is a purely positive, purely energetic guy. Ben is a kind of gloomy, kind of like facts guy who's realistic. And, you know, he's a nice guy for the most part. He's kind of like a whatever guy in the first couple episodes, but then as the show like goes into like, as we see him in like a few episodes, he begins to warm up to the characters like Leslie Knope, and they, do things together. They date, and then they eventually get married. But yeah, he's a nice guy. But why is he the most good character in this show? That's what you're probably wondering. The reason he's the most good is because, for the one thing, he's a very nice guy. He's very supportive to Leslie Knope and running for office and basically everything she does. He's a very supportive character to this guy only wants to start business. Tom Hadford wants to start on business. He's a very supportive guy to all the casts. He's a very nice guy. He's a very good husband to Leslie. And honestly, though, unlike basically every other character in this entire show, there's not really anything bad you can say about him. He's a nice guy with always good intentions. He's very nice to everyone. And I think if anyone deserves a gold medal for in the show, it's him. But second place, it was close, but second place is going to be Chris. Now, Chris is, in the first few episodes that we see him in, like the state auditors, he's his partner in crime. He's his partner. Basically, I guess they're supposed to be like good cop and bad cop. But he's the good cop, energetic, positive. He's the negative guy, like the bad cop. Now, Chris, for the most part, he's very nice to everyone. He's not as like cool supportive as Ben, but he's a very nice guy to everyone. He's also like a massive health nut. The reason he's second is for one, he's not as cool down supportive as like Ben. But besides that, he also, when he does eventually become like the manager of the entire city, when that old guy named Paul has an issue, and they said that was going to be temporary, but that ended up being permanent. He steps in, and yeah, he does, for the most part, he's good. However, he does make some kind of weird rules, like he bans an office dating, so these two can't date. And he's kind of an antagonist for that, but besides that, he's a very good guy. He always has positive intentions. He's always trying to help, so I think he's second most good. Okay, the third most good. You could make an argument that this could be a couple characters, but I think the third most good character is Ann Perkins. So we first see Ann, of course, in the pilot, and she comes to address the pit. The pit is like something that, say, developers were working on something, but then they went bankrupt, so, the pit happened. And Annie, her boyfriend at the time, fell into the pit, and he broke both his legs. And she was actually very supportive to Andy while it happened, nursing him. She basically laid on him hand and foot, and he kind of took advantage of that, which is what ended up causing them to break up, kind of. And yeah, she's very nice. She's very supportive of Leslie when they become friends, and she's very supportive of their attempts to fill in the pit, helping them out to the best of her abilities. And yeah, she's a very good character. And when the pit becomes like less of a focus, she's very supportive. She's a very supportive friend to Leslie, and always trying to help out all the cast really. She's always trying to help out all the other characters. She's a very supportive person, and I think, she may have a couple flaws at the show, but for the most part, I'd say she's the third most good character, just in the top 3. Alright, so the fourth most good character, we're gonna talk about somebody who isn't really talked about that much. They're kind of a minor character. Leslie Knope. Yep, I tricked you there. We're going at the main character for 4th place. So yeah, Leslie Knope is the main character of the entire show. She's played by Joy, and she's one of the 2 characters in this show that I've seen in something before. I haven't seen, I guess I heard her. She's Joy in Inside Out, and actually in Inside Out 2. She was in something 2 days ago. Inside Out 2, have you seen that? It's pretty good. Yeah, so she's basically the positive, in a lot of ways, she's a lot like Joy in many ways. One of the first seasons, she's kind of like a whatever bureaucrat person, kind of like the character from The Office. As the show goes on, she becomes a lot more like Joy, actually, but just her other role. She's very positive, energetic, you know, she's a very nice person, and she's always trying to help out the town of Pawnee, even though that town's kind of trash. She's always, and the citizens of, honestly though, the citizens are the main antagonists of the show, even though they, for the most part, mean well, they are the main antagonists of the show. They are, honestly, kind of the villains. She's always trying to help them out. You know, she's just always trying to help Pawnee out by filling in the pit, turning it into a park, by trying to put a tax on sugar, which she was trying to help Pawnee out that time. But doing anything, she wants the state council to help them out, and she dreams of being president and playing tricks with Joe Biden, which actually does happen. Joe Biden is in this show, I'm not even kidding. How they put Joe Biden in Parks and Recreation, I have no idea, but they did it. They also put Michelle Obama in it too. I have no idea how that happened. Like, seriously, I honestly feel like the producers might have some secret counterfeiting operation because I don't know how this show could afford that. But yeah, she's very good. She's always trying to help her. She's also a support friend to Am, and also she's also very supportive to the other characters, trying to help them out too, and getting them very exciting gifts, like for Ron's birthday, and especially for Ron's birthday, because most characters like Leslie Knope would like, you know, throw like a big party, even though like it's kind of obvious because that this guy doesn't want it. She actually doesn't do that. She throws him a simple party. She doesn't even really throw him a party at all. Actually, now I think about it, she's not. No, she doesn't. But yeah, you've seen the episode. If you've seen the episode, you know what she actually did for him. She do something though. But yeah, anyway, she's a very nice character, supportive to everyone, and she's always trying to help people out, just like these 3. So I think she's deserving of this spot, barely out of the top 4 because she does have a few flaws. And also she made Ben and she's supportive to him. But yeah, this, I think we actually just did Jerry Gergich. He's called Jerry, the majority of the show. Then they call him Larry, and they finally call him by his real name at the very end, Gary Gergich. Same name as the snail from SpongeBob. I find that funny. I don't know if that was intended for him to have the same name as the snail from SpongeBob, but he does. And he honestly does act like that in a couple ways, actually. Though I don't think that's intentional, I think about it. Especially since they call him Larry, Jerry, the young side, I was called Gary until, like, a couple seasons after he was introduced. But, okay, enough about Gary, enough about his name. Gary, Jerry, Larry, whatever you want to call him. For the most of the people in this, basically everyone in this entire show makes fun of him. Basically everyone. They all make fun of him for being kind of stupid and kind of like whatever, doing kind of just stupid average old person. However, he has actually kind of a pretty wife, ironically. Yeah, however, he is actually a pretty nice person. Although all the main cast members of the show make fun of him, he doesn't do anything to hurt them. Like, he's actually very supportive to all of his fellow coworkers. He's a very nice person, always trying to help. He's actually just an average nice guy who's there. He's just nice. He's an average nice guy, really. Something I need to say about Joe. He's an average nice guy who really doesn't deserve all the hate he gets. So I think this is the best spot for him. The only reason he's not in the top 4 is really just because, you know, he's not in it as much as, like, Leslie, and so I don't really get to, like, see his actions as much as we get to see, like, he doesn't do as much heroic as we get to see, like, from Leslie, him, her. So, I don't know. I'd say he's, like, here. And this is the actual picture I got. I thought I'd make that public information. That I used that. Some picture I found finding this and that. So, yeah. I just had to make that information public. Okay. So, the 6th most good character, I'm gonna go with, of all the characters, I think the most fitting character for this role. As hard as this was to decide, I'm gonna go D. Ron Swanson. What did I just do? However, D. Ron Swanson. Okay, so Ron Swanson, for the most part, is a well-meaning guy. I really, he's kind of like that guy who just doesn't want to interact with anybody. He just wants to be there. Oh, he will help out and give advice when it's needed, although he's not a huge fan on it. He will give advice and help people out, kind of like a father will. He's also very nice to his eventual kids that he has, although he isn't biologically having the kids of the school he dates. He's nice to them, even watching movies with them and allowing himself to suffer watching Doc McStuffins and Finding Nemo. I don't know how those were funny. I don't even think they're meant to be jokes, but him mentioning how he ate stuff. Okay, that was a joke. I don't think him talking about Finding Nemo was, although I found it funny how he described Finding Nemo. You should watch those episodes. I forgot what they are. You should watch the show, actually. If you haven't watched the show, what are you doing? Now, him and Leslie Knope do feud, and that honestly could knock a few points off of both of them. Though honestly though, they both have the reasons. Well, Leslie Knope just wants to defend Anna's house because this guy ends up forming a project to kill Anna's house, which honestly though, that's one of his major bad things he does in the show. The main really bad thing he does in the show is coming up with a plan to knock down Anne's house or something else after she leaves. But yeah, besides that, he doesn't do too much really bad. He does hate the government, which everyone can tell their own opinion. The only reason he's even in the government is really to destroy it. And what issue is on the end? I don't really care, but anyway, the only thing he really wants to do is destroy the government. So yeah, he also is a lot richer than implied, and he may or may not be breaking a few laws, but whatever. He's for the most part a nice character who hates the government and does go against the government a lot of times. But he's a nice guy who for the most part has good intentions. So I'm gonna put him here. Okay. So 7th place. This is also a bit hard, but I'm gonna go with April Ludgate. Now, when we first see April, she's the intern. She interns at the bugs department because, I don't know, she just felt like it. I'm gonna see if going on science fixes whatever issue just happened. I'm gonna see if getting it back on here fixes whatever happened. I'm gonna see if it will. Okay, well, you remember all these places. Also, if we fix them, let's just hit sand here, because why not? Okay, so April Ludgate is for the most part a supportive person. Okay, so, well, actually, let's go over this. So, we first see her as, like, the intern. She first volunteers an internship. Why? No one really knows. She got an internship, and she becomes an intern at the Bugs department. And she's an intern for the first, like, 2 seasons, until eventually, once the internship ends, she becomes Don's assistant, because he can't handle the public, so she becomes his assistant. And yeah, eventually, after that, her and Andy form a relationship. She's actually a pretty supportive wife towards Andy. When Andy gets upset because she commented on how she looks a different band more than him, she'll try to make him feel better. And besides that, she's also very supportive towards Andy, and when he takes a new job. So yeah, she's a pretty supportive wife to Andy. Besides that, she's kind of a creepy person. She does often do a lot of creepy things. She's kind of like an Wednesday Addams type character. She's kind of like she's honestly a very comedic character throughout the entire show, kind of being like that one person you might or may not know. I don't know. You have to watch the show and understand what I'm trying to say. She's like a Wednesday Addams type character, which honestly just makes you love her more, honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna place her here. I think this is a good spot for her. Okay, next up, I'm actually gonna go with a character I literally just mentioned, Andy. So when we first see Andy in the first couple seasons, he's kind of a jerk. For instance, in season 1, where he takes advantage of him breaking his leg, trap, and do everything for him. He kind of treats Anna as some kind of slave, and is borderline maybe even kind of abusive. Don't really think so. However, he's maybe a bit. However, before that, after that happens, after she finally breaks up with him, he does get his life back on track. Even gets a job in the government, being a shoe shiner for the people working in City Hall, and does eventually form a relationship with April. However, even then, before he forms a relationship with April, he does still try and get Anne back, even trying to break up Anne Brendanawicz. And you know, he was almost successful like once or twice, but not really. But yeah, eventually though, he does get over Anne and forms a relationship with April. And by that point, he's a much better guy already. And by that point on, he's just a lovable goofball. He's kind of like, what's it called, a himbo type character. Also, I completely forgot to mention he's played by Chris Pratt. You already knew he's played by Chris Pratt, but he's Chris Pratt. And that was one of the reasons I watched the show in the first place, was because an actor I liked was in it. But yeah, Chris Pratt is in this show. It was his first big role. Another fun fact about this show is that was actually Chris Pratt's first actual role. But yeah, for the rest of the show, he's a himbo type character who's well-meaning, but like very dumb. He does go to college and film, plus you know a lot of stuff happens with Andy. You should just watch the show yourself if you want to know everything. But although he does have some flaws, he even does keep you flaws, like getting a bit unnecessarily mad at April when he tells him to choose a different band more than his. Because he's in a band. I forgot to mention that's called Mouse Rat. But yeah, he does forgive for in the end. And overall, I'd say he's more good than bad. But he does have enough bad qualities to put him here. Okay, next up, I think I've held off on talking about this guy long enough. I'm gonna go for Mark Brendanawicz. Okay, actually no, I think Tom is actually a bit more good than him. Tom Haverford. So we first see him as kind of like Leslie Knope's kind of assistant, kind of not really. He's like Leslie Knope's coworker who also works in the government. Well, he also kind of hates his job, but also kind of resents his job in the government. But yeah, he's a guy, he works in the government, and he's kind of like a chill employee kind of guy. And then eventually, in later seasons, he becomes like an entrepreneurial guy with several business ventures, becoming friends with that guy whose sister is Mona Lisa. But yeah, he's for the most part a pretty nice and chill guy. He doesn't really have a whole ton of bad. Besides, he has a bit unnecessary towards women, flirting on Anne from what he sees him, and trying to have her be his girlfriend. And he does succeed. They do actually briefly date. They do briefly date. However, and then he even takes advantage of Anne being drunk to get them to move in. However, that ends very shortly. But yeah, he kind of hits on women too much. That is his main flaw. However, besides that, he's a very nice, chill guy who pretty much coaches. He doesn't do a whole kind of like actual work. He's just an overall chill, nice guy. Okay, next off is a guy who, for the most part, is kind of like Tom, a nice, chill guy. He's a city planner, Mark Brendanawicz. Okay, so this guy, he's actually, of all the reoccurring characters, he's the one who we actually see the least. First of all, he's only in the first 2 seasons. He leaves the show in the last episode of season 2. He leaves, and they don't even mention him again after. He's not even mentioned by Mouse, and after that, he just doesn't appear again in the entire run of the show because no one really likes him. However, he was for the most part. He was a nice guy, I guess. However, he was for the one thing kind of, I don't know, he had a lot of romantic issues when Leslie and too, like Anne and all that. There's a lot of issues he had with his character. He's a very flawed, deep down character. Like, he had a whole lot of issues with Anne and stuff when they dated, and eventually he just leaves the show because no one liked him. But yeah, but he is, I guess, for the most part, a nice guy. However, he does have some issues, so he's here. If you watch the show, you can understand what I'm talking about, because it's hard to explain. If you watch the show, you understand. Okay. Donna. I don't know why it took me so long. You could actually put up, nah, I'll put my granddad with Donna. But Donna, when we first see her, for the first 2 seasons, she's kind of like an old selfish, she's kind of just like a bit selfish. She's a selfish employee who's just kind of a bit selfish. However, she becomes more helping and caring to the other people as the series goes on, becoming a good friend to Tom and Leslie and April. She's for the most part a nice person who's a bit selfish, so this is a good spot. and she's an average government employee, just like Jerry. They're both kind of just average government employees. Alright, so there's only two more characters, and I think first is Tom's eventual wife. Now they first date in like the middle, I think season 4 round, but she leaves him because he's still into his wife, which is a green card marriage. He's still into his wife, which is a green card marriage, so she leaves him. However, she does end up coming back. They do end up getting back together at like the end, and then at the very end of the show, they get married. So yeah, she's for the most part a nice person. However, just the lack of things she does, and she's only in a few episodes. Just the lack of things she does just keeps me from putting her any higher. And really same thing with Shauna Malwae-Tweep. You first see her in like season 1 as a reporter, and we see her a few more times. She even dates Chris briefly. However, she's just an average reporter who sort of wants to report. Basically just like any other reporter you see in media. Tiffany Profit from The Bad Guys. Basically literally any reporter you'll ever see, she's just like that. Honestly, she's a pretty nice person to everyone though. So I won't put her in the gray area. And finally, the gray area. These people aren't really bad or evil. We have more normal, most good evil videos actually. And the first gray area person, the most moral of the gray area people, and these two people are different. If you watch the show, you know who they are. But the first person, the most moral gray area person, is one of the newer. He's a newer government employee who appears when Pawnee and Eagleton merge. Craig. So Craig is the Eagleton counterpart to somebody. He's the only Eagleton counterpart who actually stays. All the other ones leave. And he's the only one to actually stay. Now his main thing is really just his anger issues, which keeps him from the good too. For the most part, he does want to try and help. He does trying to care about what he's doing. And he does actually care a lot. Actually, not even care too much. And that's his main flaw, actually. Although he does care, and that is a good thing, it's also a major flaw because he has some severe anger issues. Although he does care a lot about his job, he also does have some severe anger issues. Very severe. Like Christine Singer talks about. However, he does have severe anger issues and lashes out a lot. He does truly care, and I guess that means he is the most moral, the most good gray person. And next off, I think now we're going into some characters who are literally pure neutral. They don't do anything good or anything evil. They're there to drive the plow on. Like, for instance, Perd Hapley. So Perd Hapley and Joan Calamezzo are the two people who are the news reporters, and they're there to report the news. And because news reporters can help drag on the story, they're there. Now, for the most part, Perd's a really nice, well-mannered person. He's nice to everyone who comes on. He's very supportive, and he's just a pure reporter who wants support too, also being a very nice supportive person. In a lot of ways, like Shauna Malwae-Tweep, though he's less involved, this doesn't do as, I guess at least Shauna Malwae-Tweep is pretty helpful, in a couple ways throughout the show. He does try and help, but he doesn't really do anything, so I'm gonna put him here. Okay, so next off is another person. Okay, I remembered. I think the next person I'm gonna put here is another guy. I mean, she does try and help, but she also... Okay. I'm gonna go with... Let me think. This is kind of hard. I can't really... Okay, I'm gonna go with... I honestly forgot her name, but this character. If you watch the show, you know who she is. And I can't even read stuff. Okay, I need to get into this. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Okay, so we got him. I'm sorry this is going a bit slow, technical difficulties. And now we got this person. So she's basically the campaign manager. When Leslie Knope decides to run for mayor, city council, this guy, Bobby Newport, played by Paul Rudd, also wants to do that, and she's his campaign manager. Now, for the most part, she doesn't really have anything against Leslie. However, she does do some morally questionable things to help this guy win. it's all really because all she really cares about in this show is money. She does try to help Leslie Knope with her campaign. Actually, no, she does try to help Ben campaign with his campaign. When he tries to run for office, she helps him. So really, she'll help anyone really, as long as it benefits her. She's kind of like a pure neutral. She doesn't really have morals, and she doesn't really do anything bad, doesn't really do anything good. She does do some maybe quite unethical things to help him win. However, that's really all. I'm gonna say she's a bit less moral than Bobby Newport. Actually, I'm gonna put Bobby Newport in the third spot, and a Gray Rat in the third and fourth. So I say Bobby Newport's a bit more good because for the most part, all he really wants to do is impress his dad. But yeah, Bobby Newport, he just kind of what's it called, loafer around. He still has to rely on his dad a little bit. However, he does, I mean, the main thing he really wants to do is impress his dad. He's for the most part just a nice, chill guy who really just wants to impress his dad, nothing really more, nothing really less. He doesn't honestly do anything throughout the show. His only reason is really just to make Leslie Knope running for mayor harder. That's really his only purpose in the show. He doesn't do anything good or really anything bad. He's just there. He's a nice, chill guy. Then we got his campaign manager. Then I'm gonna go with Joan Calamezzo. Actually, no. I think John Ralphio. He's a sister of a famous Michelangelo painting, Mona Lisa. No, she's a person, but I'll get to her later. He's the brother of Mona Lisa, and we first see him as a friend. We first see him when he wants to invest in Tom's business, and yeah, he's his business partner in E720, and he also helps the business fail. And he does try and get involved in swag. He's for the most part kind of just a douchebag, really. For the most part, he's kind of just a douche throughout the show. Relying on his dad and kind of just being a douche at the show. Involving himself in a lot of scams. Even pretending to be dead to claim insurance money. He's kind of a con artist and stuff, and he maybe should be in jail, honestly. However, he doesn't really do anything that bad. I mean, he doesn't do anything truly evil. I want to say he's like a really bad guy, because he is a chill guy, and he does really like Tom for the most part, so I'm going to put him in the gray area. Okay. Next up is going to be Joan Calamezzo. Now, she's another character who really doesn't do anything good or anything bad. She's just there. I might even put her... You know, but I'm going to put her in between Bobby Newport. Because she's honestly a lot like Bobby Newport, where she's just there to report the news, not really anything else. She does do a bit morally questionable things at the show, but she doesn't really do anything that bad, really. She's just there to report the news. I could, but she does do a couple weird things at the show, so I'm not going to put her too high, but I think this is a good spot for her, in between Bobby Newport and this guy's campaign manager, Bobby Newport's campaign manager. This is a good spot. And then the final spot is the Sweetums boss. Now, the person at Sweetums, honestly though, the only real reason she's there, she really just only cares about money. When Leslie wants to feel eating over a piece of land, Sweetums is the person who effectively owns the land, and she only really wants money. The only thing she really cares about is money. She doesn't really have any morals. Really, she doesn't do anything throughout the entire show. She just wants money, really. I guess I'll put her above John Ralphio because she's not an active con artist, but you know, this is as far as I can really put it, honestly. I think this is good, really. I think this is good. First is him. The most moral person in the game is him, then him, then him, then her, then her, then him, then John Ralphio. John Ralphio is the least good, probably, because he does involve himself in a lot of scams and stuff. Okay. Oh, wait, why did I create another tab? I already made a bad evil category. Now this is the bad and evil. Okay, so I'd say the most good bad evil character. There's only like 4, so this is gonna be quick. I'm just glad this video's almost over. You're probably thinking that you've been here a while, but don't worry, the video's almost over. We've only got 4 characters left. And I think the most good character in Bad and Evil is gonna be Councilman Jam. We first see him when Leslie finally does become city council member. He's really just a douchebag. The only thing he really does in the show is be a douchebag. Yes, that's all he really does. It's just be a douchebag. That's really it. Nothing more, nothing less. He's a pure douchebag who who tries to manipulate stuff to get for personal gain, really whenever he wants. Now you do feel bad for him when he gets manipulated by Tammy too. However, really, making personal gain. For a lot of times he tries to manipulate the other characters, even making false promises to them, even making deals and not even holding up his end of the bargain. It's just for the most part pure douche. If you've seen the show, you know what I mean by that. If you've seen the show, he's just a pure douchebag to everyone. He takes advantage of others, even making deals that he doesn't actually keep, saying get changed. But yeah, how he doesn't do anything truly evil. I'm gonna say he's evil, but he is a bad guy. And now next up is John Ralphio's sister, Mona Lisa. She's basically John Ralphio, but like worse. So basically, we first see her. I don't even remember. We first see her when she gets hired for Rent a Swag because what was his name? Tom decides to hire her for some reason, and she's a really bad employee. However, she does end up dating him. What did she even do? Because I honestly forgot. But I put her in this category because I thought she was. Oh yeah, she does take advantage of Tom. For the most part, when she's dating him, she just takes advantage of him. For the most part, yeah, she's always just a person who's there to take advantage of people. So that's all she does. I'd say she's a bad evil person because, yeah, I think so. I think this is a good spot. Okay, then it's Tammy 2. So Tammy 2 is Ron's second ex-wife. This is his first. Now we first see her after she comes back to Ron and they date and she takes advantage of him and she changes him. She does that another time too, and she does that to a couple other characters. She basically, the only thing she really likes to do is take advantage of men. And she's honestly a very despicable person throughout the show. All she likes doing is taking advantage of men. So she doesn't really have anything good to say about her. She's really, you couldn't even say she's evil. She's a very bad, evil person. However, Tammy 1 is a bit worse. I'll always see her, Tammy 2 in 10 episodes, Tammy 1 in only 2, Tammy 2 in 10, and Tammy 1 in only 2. That's hard to say, honestly. But Tammy 1 is worse because, she made us go on a jump out the window. She's also manipulative and takes advantage of people, though she does it in a way worse than Tammy 2, and she's honestly worse. But yeah, do you agree with my ranking? I just want to be done with this. I know maybe that wasn't the best description of the last couple characters, but I just want this to be over. But I think you agree with my ranking, so anyway, if you enjoyed that video, please like it. It really would help me out a lot. And if that make the YouTube algorithm recommend this to more people, so you know, that'd be nice. It would also be helpful if you subscribed. I really wanted to hit 100 subscribers, but I really want to hit 100 subs by the end of the year. I honestly wanted to hit 100 subs by June of this year, but that hasn't happened. That has not happened. I'm close to 50 though. It would be cool to hit 50 by the end of the month. I'm close. I could hit 50 subs by the end of the month. And you would help me a lot if you subscribed. So please sub. Anyway, that's all. Peace out.